Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Natalie Portman's reaction to reports that her husband has been having an affair, Jenna Ortega breaking down in tears while talking about the pressures of Hollywood, and Tom Holland taking an extended break from acting to focus on his mental health. Alright, so last week Natalie Portman's husband of 10 years, Benjamin Millepied, was accused of having an affair with a younger woman. On Friday, June 2nd, reports circulated that the couple were in the process of repairing their relationship, though we don't have an exact timeline for when this alleged cheating occurred. The 45-year-old ballet dancer allegedly had an affair with a younger French woman, said to be a 25-year-old climate activist, though neither Natalie nor her husband have addressed the reports. She was spotted wearing her engagement ring and wedding band while out in Paris. Now an inside source close to the actress has given us a bit more information. They spoke to Us Weekly and said, Natalie believes Benjamin's affair was a brief and stupid liaison that means nothing to him. She's said to be hurt and humiliated about the allegations, but still trying to remain positive and committed to their marriage. According to the source, she's willing to see if she's capable of rebuilding her trust in her husband to ensure that their kids don't grow up in a broken home. Another insider said, right now they are talking about working on it together for the sake of their children. They also said Benjamin regrets his actions. So they're obviously trying to move past this whole thing and put any infidelity behind them. Another insider spoke to Page Six and said, they have not split up and they're trying to work things out. Ben is doing everything he can to get Natalie to forgive him. He loves her and their family. She is incredibly private. Her biggest focus right now is protecting the kids. According to Page Six, the affair was something of an open secret on the set of her upcoming movie May-December. Then on Friday, a new report in a French magazine alleged that Benjamin had been spending time with climate activist Camille Etienne. That magazine published photos of the two of them going into his office separately on May 24th and leaving 10 minutes apart almost 2 hours later. Camille is actually friends with Greta Thunberg, and she's made a number of short films on the environment and written a book about climate change. These reports are pretty shocking though, and it's upsetting to hear regardless of how it happened or how long it lasted. Natalie and Benjamin exchanged vows in 2012 and they have 2 children together, 11-year-old Aleph and 6-year-old Amalia. They met while working together on the 2010 movie Black Swan. He was the film's choreographer while she played a ballerina competing for the coveted lead role in Swan Lake. At the time, he was dating and living with a fellow professional dancer, although they broke things off shortly after. The couple tied the knot with a Jewish ceremony in California in 2012. After their wedding, they lived in Paris for a while, since Benjamin became the director of dance with the Paris Opera Ballet. Natalie spoke about their first meeting in a 2018 interview. She described it like being in dreamland and said, I really got to know him, and then that is when it seemed like, oh, this is the right person. For his part, Benjamin has also spoken about his working relationship with his wife. He said, well, Natalie and I share what we're working on, but we're like 2 artists with completely different ambitions and interests. But of course we share what's going on, and I'm sending her a new script that I've finished. Benjamin used to be a principal at a ballet school in New York City, and since then he's drifted into filmmaking. He credits Natalie with helping him to prepare for his directorial debut, which is his first feature-length movie called Carmen. So they obviously work together very well in a professional setting, and judging from recent photos of the two of them, you would never really be able to tell that anything was going on. Just yesterday, the Oscar-winning actress was spotted at the 2023 French Open in Paris. In photos from the event, Natalie looked beautiful as ever, wearing a printed mini dress with billowing sleeves. But of course, most of the focus seemed to be on the round diamond ring that was still on her left hand. She was spotted smiling and clapping at several moments throughout the game while sitting next to an unnamed friend. Natalie has been visiting France for over a week now. She was at the Cannes Film Festival promoting her upcoming movie May-December, although her husband was noticeably absent. Her first public appearance following the affair was on June 3rd, when she was at the Ligue 1 match in Paris. In photos from the outing, she can be seen smiling and laughing, just taking some pictures of the game. So it's good to see that she's out and about, looking cheery and relaxed. At least that's a sign that she is doing well. Alright, now let's talk about Jenna Ortega because she seems to be under a lot of pressure lately. For Variety's Actors on Actors series, Jenna and Elle Fanning spoke in depth about their experiences navigating Hollywood at a young age, particularly when it comes to Instagram. Jenna broke down in tears while talking about the intensity of social media, because even though she's been acting since she was a child, it wasn't until Wednesday came out in November of 2022 that she noticed a very serious shift in her life. About 3 days after the show came out, right away the conversation turned to toxicity on social media, to which Jenna said it gets ugly. Apparently she had been under intense pressure to build her online following from a young age. She said, when I was younger they would take us to media training, like Disney 101 or something like that, where they would say, you're going to post 3 times a day. This is how you build followers, engage, and promote your show. You could go into an audition or meeting and it was, how many followers do you have? She explained that it wasn't just the industry that wanted perfection, fans wanted it too. Jenna feels that social media is such a comparing game in the way that it influences bandwagon mentality. It's also very manipulative. After Wednesday came out, she revealed that she was really nervous to post anything online or even just be herself because she tends to be sarcastic or dry, and it's very easy for people to misread that, which is where she finds herself in trouble. One of the main things that she wants to do with her acting career is let people get to know the person behind the camera and not just put them on a pedestal, but the longer she stays in the industry, the less she thinks that this is possible. At one point, Jenna starts crying and says, "The more I've been exposed to the world, people prey on that and take advantage of that. They see your vulnerability and twist it in a way that you don't always expect." She struggles with how to balance her online presence, the feeling of wanting to be honest and authentic without jeopardizing her own mental health and safety. Another thing about the industry that she doesn't like is the fact that every time she gets in front of a camera, people always want her to be something else. They tell her to either have more energy or smile more, which she says is a gross feeling. Instead, she would rather people see her cry than be something that she's not. The thing is, it's not entirely shocking to hear Jenna speak up about these kinds of experiences, given just how much backlash she got for admitting that she changed parts of the Wednesday script. A few months ago, she went on Dax Shepard's podcast and complained about some of the writing on the show, talking about which story arc she didn't agree with or which lines that she didn't like. She claimed that she changed parts of the script without consulting anyone, or because she felt like some stuff just didn't make sense. When this episode came out though, it upset a lot of people, namely Hollywood writers, who felt like she was taking a dig at their profession, especially in a time when they're already struggling to make a living from it. Jenna's name then got dragged into the discourse surrounding the writers' strike, and she got mocked for her comments all over again. BoJack Horseman writer Nick Adams tweeted, "Jenna Ortega better be back from New York for her afternoon shift on the picket line." In response, Yellow Jackets writer Karen Joseph Addick said, "Rewriting is writing. See you at the line, Jenna." There was also a photo that went viral of House Party writer Brandon Cohen, who was holding up a sign that said, "Without writers, Jenna Ortega will have nothing to punch up." From their perspective, she was insinuating that writers didn't know what they were doing and she could easily do a better job. But if you take a look at the full interview, a lot of her criticism of the script was constructive. She said, "I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down more on a set in a way that I had to on Wednesday. Everything that she does, everything that I had to play, does not make sense for her character at all." She also had a massive issue with the love triangle, which she says made absolutely no sense. This led her to butt heads with other people working on the show, like the director Tim Burton. In the end, Jenna felt that people didn't completely trust her to do what she felt was right for her character. She said, "The script supervisor thought I was going with something, and then I had to sit down with the writers and they would be like, 'Wait, what happened to the scene?' And I'd have to go and explain why I couldn't do certain things." It was really this part of the interview that people had an issue with. Shortly after the episode aired, Jenna had to delete her Twitter account because of all the backlash. Speaking of celebrities pushed to the extreme, let's talk about Tom Holland. His new crime thriller, The Crowded Room, really took a toll on him, so much so that he's going to be taking the next year off from acting to aid his mental recovery. In a recent video interview with Extra, he talked about the strenuous production of the series and just how much it affected him even when the filming was over. He said, "It was a tough time for sure. We were exploring certain emotions that I've definitely never experienced before, and then on top of that, being a producer, dealing with the day-to-day problems that come with any film set just added to that extra level of pressure. Juggling 2 roles on one production while playing a character in a severe mental state pushed him way past his breaking point." He said, "The show did break me. There came a time when I needed a break and disappeared and went to Mexico for a week and had time on a beach and laid low. I'm now taking a year off, and that is a result of how difficult this show was." In the series, Tom plays an antisocial young man named Danny who gets arrested after an incident involving firearms. The show is based on the real crimes of Billy Milligan, who was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. Tom admitted that it took a while for him to fully shake off this character, even after the series wrapped filming. In the end, working on the show forced him to re-examine his own mental health. He said, "Learning about mental health and the power of it, and speaking to psychiatrists about Danny and Billy's struggles has been something that has been so informative to my own life." Tom said he's become better at recognizing his triggers and stresses, especially with certain things like social media. Even though the project had a positive impact on him, the heavy subject matter was difficult to deal with. Quote, "I'm no stranger to the physical aspects of the job doing the whole action movie thing, but the mental aspect, it really beat me up and took a long time for me to recover afterwards, to sort of get back to reality." The actor recalled one moment when he felt the need to distance himself from his character after 9 months of filming. He felt like he was seeing parts of himself in his his character, which were also in his own personal life. He said, "I remember having a bit of a meltdown at home and thinking, I'm going to shave my head. I need to shave my head because I need to get rid of this character. And obviously we were mid-shooting, so I decided not to. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before." So you might be wondering, is this break from acting really happening? Well, it actually seems like it. Apparently his work slate is pretty clear for the next couple of years. The only projects Tom has lined up are a Fred Astaire biopic and Spider-Man 4, which probably won't start filming for quite some time. According to Marvel, the writers are just starting to put pen to paper on the sequel, and Tom confirmed just last week that development was paused in solidarity with the ongoing writers' strike. So he's definitely going to be able to take as much time off as he likes, which is going to be even better once he does actually return. So what do you guys think about this latest story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.